Diamond channel, welcome. Right, people have been commenting on these half round pliers quite often throughout the time we've been making videos. There's a technique I do for taking a strip of metal and then you've got to curve it into like a rainbow shape. So then when you turn that into a collet, you end up with a comb. You're doing that all the time when making collets. Yeah, the actual technique for using these pliers, what I'm specifically doing, holding the pliers like that. I've got the rounded section towards me, closest to me, got them like locked into my peg, hold my strip there right on the end, and then with a pair of parallel pliers which are all the way over there, have them like that, and then use that, and then you can see there's marks on the pliers there. That's because my pliers are hitting that, and then I'm pushing that point and then shifting the metal over. So a lot of people saying they can't do it, haven't got the strength. One little trick, it's probably quite important, but I used these for years without this, but it's definitely helpful. Can you see the line there? I literally just filed a groove in. I did it both sides. I think you only really need it on one side. I'm not really sure. Can't really decide which side is more important, but basically a common problem you'll have doing this is it takes a lot of strength to do this, and then you hold it like that and it's just slippery, and it can snap like that, and then you end up sort of twisting it and gouging it and stuff. But having these grooves in the pliers does help that stop happening, but it does chew up the edges of your metal a little bit as well, because you never get these perfect for every single bit of metal, because what you turn up is varies in thicknesses and stuff. So it does do a bit of damage to the edge of the metal, but it does hold it straight. So I would say it's probably a good idea rather than a bad idea. But even so, even with that, even with it locked in position really well, it still takes a lot of strength, and some people just they can't do it. So I just milled out this chunk of metal. This is really heavy gauge. I would never make a collet out of something this heavy. 1.9 thick, just under 6 wide. So this is going to take a lot of strength to bend. So I'm just going to try it. I reckon I can do it. Yeah, it's bending. It's definitely harder than normal, but I can do it. It's not taking lots of strength, but I don't know, maybe I'll practice a technique or something. But yeah, it does happen when you're learning this. Things do sort of snap on the pliers. So anyway, I'm going to show you what I have done in the past once when I had a really thick, it was wider than that. I can't remember the dimensions, but definitely wider than that, and really thick bit of metal as well. And I had to turn it up into a rainbow shape, and I just physically couldn't do it with my hand tools. So I'll show you what I did on I'll show you how I did it. So I went to my vise, got 2 of these ball punches, quite heavy size ones. They do vary a little bit, so I just wrapped tape around one so it matches, so they both hold in tight rather than squeezing one and the other one being loose. Put those in. Where's my metal? Put those in so your metal can slip between them, but you don't want it too gappy. About that will do. Just double check that. Yeah. Okay, wang those in really tight. Okay. Then to help hold them together, I've got a zip tie. Zip. Then I get my metal, same parallel pliers, hook that in, and then because that's replacing my hand holding the half round pliers, I can use 2 hands to really bend that round. Got that. Well, I would never bend it that much in one go. If I was actually making something, I just did it for the video to show what's possible. But there you go, look, completely moved that around. So you are just bending a bit of metal at the end of the day, but same kind of rules apply. If you've got a long bit of metal, it's going to give you more space to hold on to it, and you've got power of leverage and stuff. If you're still having problems, like trying what I just did, and it's like still kinking over or whatever's happening, you're going to need to do a bit more problem solving. Try and you now have ability to bend it, but now you've got a new problem, it kinking or flipping over, so you're gonna have to try and force it flat. I did a video previously trying to make a tool for exactly doing this job, making it easier. It didn't really succeed in that video, but basically if you got a bracket, see that little nuts and bolts in there, you could just screw it down flat, so that's held perfectly flat. There's no way that's gonna flip out on you, and then with that, then just hold that in your little contraption and then bend it around. I don't know, there's always a solution to a problem. It's good. What I enjoy about this job is you're free to be inventive. You're only bending bits of metal at the end of the day. Everything's going to be possible, and I recommend you, if you come up against a bit of a problem, try and solve it yourself with your own brain power before running to the internet and Google searching it and checking out YouTube videos and stuff, because you're never practicing training your brain up to be a problem-solving kind of brain. It's more satisfying as well when you actually come up with a solution, and it's very likely you can achieve whatever you need to achieve with what you've got. If you only ever search online for tools to do certain jobs, you're going to end up spending money as well. You're going to end up with a workshop full of like laser welders, disc cutters, jump ring holder to cut through, electric saw frame, all this stuff you don't need. So yeah, there you go. I bent that. Took a lot of strength to do that. Possible, but much easier with just a little bit of thought and mucking about with other tools that I had in the workshop. So yeah, there you go. Just a little video on showing you things, how I work out my problems.